Hi everybody, it's Dr. Freddie here for this week's edition of Dr. Freddie Said So, and I'm blessed here to have an interview with our patient Cameron Grout. Our theme this week is on the Olympics. The Rio Olympics are starting up here on Friday, and part of the Olympic theme, I've been blessed to take care of several Olympic athletes over the years, and Cameron actually is an athlete from the 1960 Rome Olympics. He's also competed in the Commonwealth Games and the Pan Am Games, and even won, which medal was it in the Rome Olympics?
We came fourth.
Fourth, so just off the podium in the Rome 4x100 swimming relay. So, as a lot of you know, chiropractic is about performance. And Cameron is a great example of an athlete who, even in his older years and retired, is still performing at a high level in other endeavors now. But going back to 1960, Cameron, how did that experience, how did that change your mindset in your life in terms of where you are today?
I think it was really beneficial. You learned how to focus on something, learned how to do something, so that once you got into business, you realized you had to put in the same effort, the same of everything else. And I think that it was an opportunity. The athletes today, however, have more opportunity because there are world championships, there's World Series, they all go and they see much more of the world. In our case, you basically, only time that somebody sent you anywhere was an international event, either the Olympics. Then when I went, it was actually the British Empire Games, not the Commonwealth Games, and the Pan Ams. And so that's the only chance you had was to go to anything in the world class at that time.
Wow. So I mean, the athletes now are complaining about the venues in Rio. I can imagine they weren't very much better, if any at all, back in 1960.
Well, I know that I saw the apartment buildings that they've built, which are going to be sold to the very wealthy in Rio as condos. We never did get doors in Rome, and I always thought that the guys on the front gate to get into the village were there to keep us in rather than to keep people out.
Yes.
But
well, and imagine from health and the training perspective that things are very different today than they were back in the 60s as well.
Well, I think that the athletes today are lucky with the progress of medicine, with people like yourself in chiropractic and massage therapy, a number of other things. We never had any of that stuff. They hadn't even really invented land training when I was swimming.
You just
got in the water and you swam,
yeah.
And that was it. I did it a little differently, and I actually trained with the national ski team for two falls, and then went back to the pool. And of course, then I was in heat 12. And it took me about a month to get back to heat 1. But
right.
By the time I got back to heat 1, I was in much better shape than I had. Yes. Because I ran the stairs in Molson Stadium and ran the mountain with them.
Wow. Well, I think that's the thing. We always learn more from the people that they say set the tone beforehand. You learned a lot from the athletes before you, and I'm sure the people like Michael Phelps and the elite athletes today, can always look back at
they also get paid.
Yeah, that's true. I think you were paying to go yourself, right? But at the same time, I mean, you've lived a healthy lifestyle. It was part of what you love to do, you said. Obviously, it wasn't a job for you, right?
No, it was a wonderful experience, and I really loved it and enjoyed it. I probably could have stayed, but I was in Montreal, and by that time, most of the people that I had swum with either retired or I didn't get along too well with, and my choice was either to move to British Columbia and try and complete my education there, or, in 1960 you had to get a job.
Yeah.
And so
a real job.
So when I graduated, I went out and got a job.
Well, and you've seemed to keep fit and well. I know you love the golf and ski now.
Not at the same level.
Fun, right?
That's what they call it.
Yes.
I enjoy. I do downhill ski, and I do chase a little white ball.
Yeah. Well, now you're giving me the lessons in the pool so that I can compete. I'm catching up on learning to swim, but
that's good. Well, then you've done extremely well too. You should be very proud of what you're doing, especially when you're carrying a job and doing it at the same time.
Well, and you've taught me, that your health at whatever level you're competing, you need your health, whether it's at the Olympic level or at the age group triathlon level. For me, I'll never swim as fast as you, but at least I can bike and run, so that's good.
Well, the ironic thing at the Olympics is I was in an accident 24 hours before I competed, and at that time they took you around in Vespas to go to various things, and I was on the way to the pool, And it wasn't until after the accident that I found out the rules of the the rules of the road, and whoever blew their horn the loudest had the right of way. And I guess both guys thought it, and we got T-boned by a guy with a Rhodesian boxer on the back.
Oh my.
And I tore my hip open and split my knee open, and it didn't help by the time I got back into the water. I had to cut my bathing suit up so I could keep it on. But it was good.
You needed chiropractic back then for sure.
They didn't have them.
Yeah.
Canadians sent 2 massage therapists to the Olympics in 1960 for the entire team. Now our team wasn't nearly the size it is now. I mean, the men's swimmer were only 4 of us.
Right. Wow. And so today, a lot of these athletes, there's chiropractors at the games right now taking care of them, excelling at their best. We take care of a lot of Olympic and pro athletes here, before they go out to the games. So, for you at your stage of life, how is chiropractic helping you, and why do you continue to want to stay healthy?
Well, I mean, you want the glass half full, don't you? You want to be upright and be able to do everything you can.
Yeah.
Plus the fact I want to be able to ski with my grandchildren and have a great time. So you have to keep yourself going one way or another.
Yeah.
I must admit, when I downhill ski, usually my first bit of training is my first turn. But this year, I think I stay in fairly decent shape because I walk a lot and do things like that.
Well, that's pretty awesome. So no matter what medal you're winning, this is the competitor's medal from the 1960 Rome Olympics that Cam was able to bring in some memorabilia from the Olympic Games. As you're watching the Olympics this year, don't forget those records that are being set. There's a lot of training involved, a lot of people behind the scenes helping these athletes perform at their best. So you might not be in Rio, but you're performing as well for your job, for your family, for the sports you love to do. So thanks, Cameron, for taking time to share your story with us, and I'm sure you've inspired many athletes along your way. And
it's my pleasure, and all we got to do is just cheer on our athletes so they can hear us from here, as Kurt Harnett said the other night on television.
Right. Yeah.
And I think they're going to do fairly well.
That's the beauty of the Olympics. It brings the whole country together. So you'll see our contest here in the clinic through the page you're watching right now, whether it's through YouTube, Facebook, or on our website. Just vote for the number of medals Canada's going to win in terms of gold, silver, bronze, and the total. And you'll see it's a big contest going on right now in the office. And if you have any questions for Cameron about the Olympics, or comments or questions that you'd like to see covered in our next episode, please leave them just in the comments below. Give a thumbs up, share it with others, and keep spreading the word. Have a great day, everybody. Stay well adjusted.